Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today we have our first official look at Disney's Mulan that is, I believe, slated for release in 2020. Now, if you are familiar with my channel, you know I've not been the biggest fan of the live action adaptations so far. I'm definitely looking forward to this one. But for me, I mean, animation versus live action, I don't believe animation, anime, whatever the case might be, necessarily needs a stand-in or an alternative, right? I think they stand pretty much on their own. Give me something in the same world, following different characters, or a modern take on for the current day audiences, right? And do that, and I'm sold. But I haven't loved the ones we've gotten so far. This one, however, I am looking forward to because while I wasn't a huge Disney fan, I more Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon, but at the same time, this is one that I've actually seen several times, if only for to watch Mushu at work. Although there are some whispers in behind the scenes that Eddie won't necessarily be returning for this role, which will be disappointing. But we do have some additions, Jet Li and Donnie Yen being an addition to the cast. And I grew up. I love kung fu movies. I still watch old school kung fu movies to date with those two. So I will not miss an opportunity to see them portraying these iconic characters on screen. Right, so Disney's Mulan. Let's check it out. Yeah,
We have
looks just like
excellent
her.
news. The matchmaker has found you an auspicious match.
It is decided. Come and sit down. It is what is best for our family.
No, Dad. What's
Yes,
best for you?
I will bring honor to us all.
Quiet,
Wow, they've done an excellent job with
composed,
the set design. It's brilliant.
graceful, disciplined. These
This does
are
not
the
look like a Hollywood
qualities
film.
we
This
see
looks like.
in a good wife.
I need to look up who the director is.
These are the qualities we see in Mulan.
All
It is
right.
my duty to fight.
It's looking good. Yeah, that looks fantastic, guys. It looks fantastic. Um, I need to look up who the director is because one of the things that usually happens, and it happens on both sides of the fence. Usually, whenever Hollywood attempts to adapt an Eastern film, or even if it usually has a big budget, but it doesn't quite feel. It doesn't quite feel in terms of the set design and even the cast sometimes, because we won't go into the whitewashing thing, but it doesn't feel as the cinematography doesn't feel as though it is from that era. There's just usually something missing, and whenever the East tries to adapt something from the West as well, because the same is actually true in some instances. They don't have a big enough budget, and the CG where it's maybe a blockbuster film or something like that, it's usually not up to par. So this feels like an amalgamation of the two. I mean, the stunts, the set design, cinematography, everything just looks. It looks like a set piece, right? It's as if we're in that era, and that's it's just beautiful. It just looks beautiful. I mentioned earlier on that that we might not be getting Mushu in this, and I think arguably Mushu is almost as popular as Mulan herself. I don't think there's no doubt about that, right? And it's I don't know whether it's gonna turn some people off for this film. Maybe, and not likely. The story is still the story is still one that we've grown and loved, and we will want to see it. But Mushu not being there, it feels like something is missing, right? It feels like something is missing, and the songs and all of that took place in the original won't be there because Mushu is not there. I don't know. I mean, there are rumors that maybe Eddie Murphy turned the role down, and they didn't. So I don't know how true that is, but it's definitely something that's going to stick out, and you will notice that it's not there. It's hard to replace that character. It just is. And I mean, adding to that as well, of course, there's the not the main villain per se, but kind of a secondary villain, Shifu, the minister who was scheming behind the scenes in the original. Of course, he's being replaced by someone called Jean Lang. Jean Lang, probably butchering the name, but who's a female antagonist, right? And that makes the story a bit more complicated in how they're differing from the original storyline, because Mulan herself was supposed to represent female empowerment because women weren't allowed in certain positions in that world, and having Jean Lang portray, I'm assuming, and I believe she's being used to replace Chifu, and if that is the case, then we already have a female in a prominent position in the Emperor's palace. So it kind of defeats. I don't know. It kind of defeats the purpose of the whole story in a way. I mean, it's still a coming of age story, and we want to see Mulan grow into that character on screen. But I wonder what direction they're going to be taking this from if they've decided to make such a drastic change, because that is a major change to have a female in prominent power there. While this character is sneaking in, pretending to be a male to join the army to bring honor to her family, right? It just seems out of place. But I'm curious to see what their vision is for this story. Whether it's something that they decided to do or I'm not sure. So I mean, I love everything that I've seen. The world, the cinematography looks absolutely fantastic, and Mulan looks fantastic. She looks great. She looks excellent here. So my only concern really is the changes that they're making, removing Mushu and removing Shifu and replacing with a female antagonist. So these things, yeah, I wonder if it will feel like the same story that you, the audience, are going there to actually see, right? All right, guys. Be sure to post down below. Let me know what your thoughts are on this teaser. Do you share my concerns with them removing Mushu or the change in the antagonist? Be sure to post down below and let me know. Of course, hit like or subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.